Hi everybody, I'm Harlan Hutchison, and it's a pleasure to be able to get with the head basketball coach at Missouri State University West Plains, Jared Fay, today for a little bit of conversation and as much to let you know a little bit about him and about a little bit more about the Grizzly Basketball program, because so much has changed here since this past season, and we're already 5 games in and getting ready for another tournament as we record this coming weekend in Park Hills, Missouri. Jared Fay comes here from out west, and it's been an interesting start here. He comes to Missouri State University West Plains, except, now tell me if I'm right about this, you accepted the job without ever coming here.
That's correct, yeah. Worked here for an entire month before actually being in this town, so it's a kind of a unique situation.
Let's go back a little bit further. You're from where, and what got you interested in being a basketball coach?
Yeah, I'm originally from Post Falls, Idaho. It's in the northern part of the state, and my high school coach, when I was younger, my friends all played basketball, so I got into basketball, and it was actually my high school coach that talked me into coming back and helping coach, and just kind of fell in love with it and realized that's really what I wanted to do, and just kind of, took some different steps along the way, but ended up here.
You've had a lot of success at the junior college level. You left for a while and went to Division I, and now you're back in junior college. The thing that you said, and again, this made an impression on me, you love the junior college game. Why is that?
I do. I like the opportunity that you have, the impact that you have on these young men. The Division I level, maybe it's a little bit more business-like, and you don't always have the interaction with them as people. There's a lot of really good junior college coaches out there that I think are kind of underrated, and so we kind of have this bond. We're kind of a unique group of people, and just being able to help young men go on and achieve their dreams is really what I enjoy about this level.
It's so different at the junior college level than at the 4-year level, because if you're at the 4-year level, you've got the luxury of waiting a year, maybe another year, for a kid to really blossom and become the player they can be. At your level, it's not even really a 2-year thing. It's a year-to-year thing. And about the time you're starting to get somewhere, they're going somewhere else.
Yeah, I've always thought a lot of times when you as a coach, you just finally figure out how to coach somebody, they're leaving. So it is a unique situation. I think in the NCAA, even with the transfers and all kinds of things happening there, they're kind of turning into more the junior college philosophy. The people that have the systems and the old Princeton offense and certain things like that, I think it's getting harder and harder for them to do that. So we're all starting over to some degree from year to year, and this year's been an exception even because we have very little time to get things ready. We're kind of feel like we're guessing, making our best guess at times to get the guys out there on the court, but so far so good.
Situations continue to evolve. It's just kind of a day-to-day deal, and you hope you're doing the right thing and keeping everybody safe. And so far, it's been going pretty well. Talk a little bit about your philosophy of basketball, because coaches, a lot of the time, you'll have somebody that you admire that in the coaching profession. Sometimes it's somebody you played for, somebody you've watched or worked under. How did you develop your philosophy of playing the game of basketball?
It really was my high school coach. He's actually not coaching now. He's a pastor at a church over around Seattle, but very, very good basketball mind. So he taught me a lot of things that I still apply today. And then you pick up a little bit from a lot of coaches that you come in contact with. And for me, it's probably been more the head coaches out there, that how well they treat their players and just how genuine they are. People like Tony Bennett and Mark Few. Tony Bennett was at Washington State when I was up at North Idaho. Mark Few, of course, at Gonzaga right there. But more so even their coaching philosophy, I think it was just, what the culture they wanted to breed in their program, and obviously you've seen a lot of success with them.
And what we've seen in the first 5 games is a lot of 3-point shots. If my count was correct, we've made, or close to anyway, 79 threes in a 5-game span, and that is remarkable. This past weekend, the games that we played, 2 contests up in Moberly, we had, I think, 39 threes or close to it. Mm-hmm. You like to go, right?
Yeah, I want to play fast, and I want our guys to play with confidence. So, it's a little bit more of a process because you're really teaching them how to play basketball, and we're always talking about making the right basketball play. So it's not necessarily, not everybody has the green light to shoot three-pointers. What we're trying to do is break it down, get guys to the right spots, the right, pace and space is kind of a new term in basketball, but it's kind of how we want to play. And again, once the guys know that's a good shot, that's a shot we don't want them to overthink it. So that's, and we do. I think that's our strength this year is we can shoot the ball pretty good, so we want to play to it.
We really do have a bunch of really good shooters, but do you play that way because that's the way you want to play, or does that fit the way kids want to play now?
A little bit of both. I think that the last few years kind of developed my philosophy, in the College of Southern Idaho. One is recruiting, so you want to recruit to a system that they want to play in, that they watched games from before, thought it was fun. So that's part of it. Also, I think we need to play to the fans. People want to watch fast basketball now, and they want to watch a brand that's fun to watch. So it's a lot of things. And once they kind of understand the system, coaching, you can kind of take a step back, and let them play to some degree. And we still have a ways to go, but I feel like we're getting there.
There's a definite method to Coach Fay's madness when he put this team together. There was really no way that you could put together an all-freshman group and really hope to be very competitive, especially in a tough region like Region 16. So you have some sophomore transfers, kids that have some experience, and not only have experience, but are pretty good players.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. I recruited for an entire month with no assistant coach and to a campus that I'd never been on or a town I'd never been to. So I promised them all we were on the beach, but we're not. But it's a lot of just contacts and a lot of people that I had to trust as far as how we were doing recruiting. And again, figured if nothing else, I think we got a group that can shoot the ball well, and we'll try to figure out all the other stuff as we go. Just
like you hadn't seen West Plains, you've probably seen a video of the kids prior, but have they been what you hoped they would be?
Yeah, they have. We try really hard to recruit high character guys, and they've been a great group to work with. They've really enjoyed it here. And yeah, I really wouldn't say that anybody we signed was a bust, that, okay, we thought they were, they aren't as good as we thought they were. And some guys have pleasantly surprised us, been probably even a little bit better than we were expecting. The jury's still out on some of the freshmen just because they're freshmen. So trying to figure out a little bit how to teach them how to play, how we want to play. But at the same time understanding they're freshmen and they're going to make some mistakes, and hopefully they just keep getting better as the season goes on.
If you're a freshman, make no mistake about it, we're talking about junior college basketball, but this is way different than high school.
Yes.
And you have these sophomores that came in, and so you don't have a roster full of newbies. You've got kids that already know what the score is and what the game is about and how the game's played.
Yeah, I think Byron Braylon is a really good asset for us, that he was at a Division I school last year. So times maybe in practice, the freshmen think I'm being too hard on him or I'm being too crazy. He can pull him aside and say, hey, you said you want to play Division I. He's trying to prepare you for that, and he's actually a lot nicer than most Division I coaches. So just little things like that. Really overall too, we try to bring guys that kind of have a chip on their shoulder, that were maybe overlooked, and I've always tried to do that. Guys that are overlooked and that one, they'll appreciate a place like this, but also understand, that they don't have that sense of entitlement that something's going to be owed to them. They realize they're going to come here and work for it, and we're seeing our team come together that way.
And we've seen a lot of good things already in the first 5 games, and we're seeing this team really, I think, mature on the run. I was really impressed, and I told your assistant coach, Jason Owens, the other day, it's really amazing to me when you look back the first time you scrimmaged Link year and played them the other day at Moberly. A lot has changed, and this team has really gotten a lot better.
Yeah, they have. Again, it kind of goes back to them understanding good shots and bad shots, and we talk about trying to pass up, an okay shot to get a good or great shot, and so they're getting that. Some things, coaching aside, they just have to learn the hard way. We all have to do that in life sometimes. So going and playing at Coffeyville, I think that was a real eye opener for a lot of the guys. Like, wow, okay, I get why coach is saying we can't turn the ball over and things like that. So yeah, I'm very happy with our growth to this point.
If you're a player, it's obvious what you're going to get praised for, but what are you going to get in trouble for if you play for Coach Jared Fay?
You know, I'd say jogging back defensively is a big thing that we really watch. I try to let our guys play through mistakes because I don't want them always looking over at the bench every time they make a mistake. But there are certain things that you're probably coming out of the game for. If you didn't get back defensively, we really try to hold them accountable, rebounding, blocking out if you missed a block out, certain things like that. But I would say probably the biggest thing is if I feel like they're just being selfish. If they're not in with the team and they're trying to just be about themselves, they're going to have a conversation with me.
For some coaches, you turn the ball over, you're out. Not you. You don't do that.
I try not to do it right away because, again, I don't want them to keep looking over at me every time they make a mistake. But there's definitely moments where somebody will do something and I think, okay, I'm going to let the next play go and then I'm going to sub them out. Because at the end of the day, we can't turn the ball over. We're going to have turnovers, but we need to limit them as much as we can. And again, even the turnover, if it was a pass that they made because they were trying to do something too fancy or be selfish, I would be upset about that. If it was just trying to get their teammate involved and they were trying to get them the ball, probably give them a little bit more grace there.
So we for years talked about Region 16, how tough a region it is. You're not anymore, at least not a neutral bystander. You're in the middle of it, but from the outside looking in and now being in it, how would you rate Region 16 as far as good basketball in junior college?
Oh, I think it's really good. Where I was at the College of Southern Idaho, the Scenic West Athletic Conference, you got Salt Lake and Snow, you got a lot of really good teams. So I think the conferences are pretty similar. But this year, I think in particular, Mineral Area went to John A. Logan, the #1 ranked team in the country, and beat them, by 15. And Three Rivers lost to them in double overtime. So there's no, we're getting ready here where there's no easy games on the schedule. I think every night is going to be a battle. I think we're gonna see a lot of overtime games, one possession games, and that's what we have to prepare for.
And those games are going to get tougher as the year goes by, as the opponents get tougher too. And we alluded to this at the outset. When people come to watch the Grizzlies play, it's not just a matter of playing basketball anymore. People want to be entertained, and there is no debate. You guys play an entertaining brand of basketball.
Yeah, when the guys are really clicking on all cylinders, I can kind of become a fan. I enjoy watching them play well. So we definitely still have some work to do, but I think we're on the right track.
And when we get past this pandemic stuff and we're able to have like a normal season, you talk about playing out west, playing out in Idaho, but here in this part of the country, geographically, we have the opportunity to really not travel that far to play a really good schedule of teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Indian Hills on the schedule this year twice. We're not that far from Texas, but going forward, that's what I'd like to do. I want to go play the best. I've won a lot of games in my career, but I've also lost a lot of games in my career, and I'm not scared to lose a game, especially early. I hate losing, but I think that if we can go play the best of the best wherever, I think it'll make us better in the long run. So already looking forward to next year's schedule and what we can come up with.
So as we wrap this up, we've got, again, a lot of basketball still to play, a really compact season, and we'll be back home again. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, February
10th, yeah.
And that'll be Mineral Area.
It will be, yep.
And that will be good.
It'll be a battle, no question. They're a very good team.
This college, this program has been to the national tournament one time in its history. It was #1 for 6 weeks that particular year. You've not only been to Hutchinson, Kansas on multiple occasions, you played for a national championship out there. What was that experience like?
It was great. It's tough losing that game. I never understood before when you'd hear people from the NFL talk about the worst loss of their careers when they lost in the Super Bowl. I never understood that until now because, you make it to it and it was a great accomplishment. But looking back at that year, it was a great run. It was a fun year. That week at Hutch was amazing. And so at the same time, it's kind of left a burn with me a little bit that I want to win a national championship. And I really think that this is the place that we can do that at some point. And that's really hard to do, obviously. But I do think this is a place that has everything you need to win a national championship.
Jared Fay, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here, and we hope we have you here for a long time.
Yeah, we plan on it. Thanks, Harlan.
Thank you very much.